The silence of Alakol. Morning arrives slowly over Alakol. First, the sky begins to pale, as if someone gently blew on the glowing embers of the night. Then thin golden streaks start to creep across the horizon, reflected in the smooth water, and everything around falls silent in anticipation. Even the wind, once so tireless, hushes for a moment, as if it, too, wants to hear the lake wake up. Alakol is not just a body of water. It is the breath of the earth, ancient and warm. It lies among hills and rocky ridges like a mirror forgotten by time. Its waters are slightly salty, gently warm, and, they say, filled with power, healing and strengthening. You won't find the usual rush here, only the wind, the reeds, and the endless sky. Near the shore, scattered shrubs hide in the shadows of sun-warmed boulders. Sometimes migratory birds stop here. In spring especially, the air fills with the cries of pelicans, gulls, and even pink flamingos. The nature around the lake lives by its own ancient laws, slowly, unafraid of solitude. When you gaze at the water, time seems to stretch. Even the simplest sounds, the splash of a fish, the rustle of grass, the snap of a dry stalk, become noticeable. Here, silence isn't a courtesy, it's a natural state. You don't want to speak, not because it's rude, but because words feel unnecessary. By day, the sun paints the water a deep, vivid blue, almost mirror-like. In the distance, the sharp ridge lines of the Jungarian Alakol stand clear, and above them, eagles circle. In such moments, it feels like you are standing not just at the edge of a lake, but at the edge of the world, where the earth turns into sky. And in the evening, everything stills once more. Only the waves continue to roll onto the shore, like the heartbeat of a living being. The air fills with the scent of dust, wild grass, and water. The light slowly fades, and the lake becomes dark and deep, like a bowl filled with night. Those who have once been to Alakol don't return for resorts or comfort. They return for the silence, for the vastness, for the chance to feel like they are part of something ancient and calm, untouched by rush, untouched by fear. Alakol doesn't speak, it listens. And if you stay long enough, you just might hear yourself. As the sun leans toward the horizon, the shores of Alakol fill with a special kind of light. It gilds the water, softens the faces of people, and even the quiet conversations of vacationers become gentler, warmer. Some walk barefoot along the shoreline, leaving footprints in the wet sand. Others sit silently by their tents, gazing into the distance. Children laugh as they play near the water, skipping stones across the surface, and all of it seems to melt into the deep breath of the lake. Here, vacationers don't just spend time, they become part of the space. Some come for the healing waters, others for the peace, and some simply to disappear for a few days from their usual rhythm. And everyone finds something. Some lie on warm stones and close their eyes, others head out early to fish, while some quietly film the sunrise to rewatch it later in the noise of the city. Alakol welcomes everyone equally, those who seek, those who are tired, and those who simply want stillness. It doesn't divide people, it gathers them in a shared moment. Peace. Here, it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, or what burdens you carry. What matters is that you're close to the water, the wind, and the sky. As they part with the lake, many people turn back again and again, trying to capture not just the view but the feeling they experienced. Calm, fulfillment, silence, and maybe, weeks or months later, in the middle of city noise and everyday tasks, you'll suddenly hear the rustle of reeds, the splash of a wave, or the cry of a bird, and you'll understand. The lake is still with you. Because Alakol isn't just a place, it's a space where you remember who you really are. There are places where time seems to pause, where the air smells of steppe, salt, and wine. One of these places is Lake Alakol. Spread between mountains and plains in eastern Kazakhstan, it lies like a mirror reflecting the sky. Alakol is not just a body of water, it's a living landscape, where every morning begins with the breath of wind, and every evening ends with the whisper of waves. When you arrive here for the first time, it feels like stepping into another world. There's no city noise, no signals, no billboards, only the sounds of nature. Birdsong, the gentle splash of water, and the distant voice of wind in the reeds. Even the sun moves differently here, slowly, with grace. People come for different reasons. Some for the healing waters, others for peace, and some simply because they're tired of noise. And the lake welcomes each person in its own quiet way. It doesn't speak, it lets you feel. Through light, through sand, through the endless horizon where sky and earth meet. This is a story not just about water and shores, it's about silence, about beauty and simplicity, about how nature can become a mirror for that there are places on this earth where time seems to pause not because clocks stop, but because something deeper within you slows down.
Путешествовавший в этих краях в 50-х годах XIII века, и третье крупнейшее озеро к востоку от Каспийского моря. Озеро Алаколь лежит в Алакольской котловине между Тарбагатайским хребтом и Джунгарским Алатау. Оно вытянуто с севера на юг на 104 километра, с запада на восток на 52 километра. Водное зеркало с островами занимает площадь 2696 квадратных километров. Глубина озера достигает 54 метров. Алаколь впадает в 15 небольших рек. Все побережье озера усыпано черной лечебной галькой. Лишь изредка встречается песчаный пляж. Вокруг Алаколя располагается огромное количество озер, крупнейшие из которых Сосыколь, Кошкарколь, Уелы и Жаланашколь. Они образуют Алакольскую озерную систему. Вода в озере имеет хлоридно-натриевый состав. Литр алакольской воды содержит 8 грамм соли. Побережье изобилует сероводородными грязями. Для охраны уникальной алакольской флоры и фауны в 1998 году был создан Алакольский государственный природный заповедник. Прямо посередине Алаколя находятся заповедные острова Уйкен, Орал-Тобе, Порт-Алы, Орал-Тобе и Кишкине, Орал-Тобе. Недалеко от озера Алаколь установлены памятники великому казахскому батыру Кабанбаю и выдающемуся государственному деятелю Мухаммеду Ахметовичу Кунаеву. Между озерами Алаколь и Сосыколь находится небольшое озеро Кошкарколь.
To listen, not just to nature, but to yourself. The beauty of Lake Alakol isn't loud or dramatic, it's subtle, layered. It's in the soft sound of small waves brushing against pebbles, in the shifting light on the water's surface, in the simple joy of seeing a horizon untouched by human hands, and it's in the quiet understanding that sometimes, the most powerful moments in life are the ones when you do nothing at all, except watch and feel. So this is where our story begins. Not in a bustling city, not in a place of power or urgency, but here, at the edge of a vast and silent lake. A place where nature still speaks, where the wind still remembers, and where, if you let it, the water will show you something you may have forgotten, how to just be. Welcome to Lake Alakol.